Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, in his submission yesterday, have made it clear to the entire world that he is being held hostage by Nigerian government under illegality sustained after his extraordinary rendition and torture all the way from Kenya. After the attempted assassination to his life, action of his home country, which he managed to escape, and he was also renditioned from Kenya, which violates his fundamental rights of humans and the right to freedom of movement and expression. This is quite unfortunate. Instead of Nigeria learning from their mistake or regretting from the act of extraordinary rendition him, they have gone further to detain him and to illegally subject him to unimaginable torture, psychological, emotionally, by trying to force him into an allegation which has not been affirmed by any competent court of law within the Nigerian jurisdiction. In fact, Nigerian court of law has discharged and acquitted him and have made a verdict that no other court within the Nigerian legal jurisprudence can try him. But ever since, there have been hide and seek game regarding his release. And of most recent, yesterday, 20th of May, Binta Nyako, Justice Binta Nyako, who presided over the case, of course, turned down another bail applications, not minding the position of the Supreme Court that cleared any argument regarding his jump bail application. The government of Nigeria and the Supreme Court of Nigeria, of course, which is the highest appellate court of law, affirmed and cleared every doubt about whether Mazi Nnamdi Kanu jumped bail or not. That Mazi Nnamdi Kanu never jumped bail, and as such, no one has the right to try him. So why this delay? Why the continued torture? Why the continued detention of a man who has been presumed innocent by the appellate court of law? To this end, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has called the attention of the entire world, of course, and the Igbos and the Biafrans by extension, that he's been held hostage under illegal condition, that the government of Nigeria has lost every right to try him or subject him to any form of trial or intimidation or further detention. Of course, it's very clear, citing the Constitution, Section 2, Subsection 3 of the Nigerian Constitution, which stipulates that on matters bordering on terrorism, that he is cleared. And any attempt by any Nigerian court to try him or the Nigerian government is an act of terror, of course, unleashed on him. And today, not just the Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, but the entire Igbo race are under hostage by the continued detention of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And this must not be taken lightly, as it is unfolding now. The reality is coming up. Possibly, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have kept mute over the years or months of his detention. He has come up to defend himself in the court of law, and he has made his argument very brilliantly, of course, and eloquently, have made a very phenomenal submission, which have left the entire legal system within the Nigeria scattered and, of course, in disarray. Nigeria cannot deny her constitution, and those who should interpret the law should not jettison the provisions of the constitution, which have been affirmed by the highest appellate court of law. And to this end, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu maintain that any court of law within the Nigerian legal jurisprudence that will entertain any case against him could be considered an extension of terrorism against humanity. Because nowhere in the world will you take advantage of your error, of the blunder, of the illegality you embarked on. I think I agree with him to this end. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu should be let go of the hook because he has no case to answer and has proven otherwise. If Nigeria has any case, of course, against him, they would have made the argument, of course, before their own court. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu won overwhelmingly on the 13th of October 2022, where the appeal court gave an overwhelming, of course, verdict in favor of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and demanded that the Nigerian government should release him unconditionally and compensate him. But unfortunately, the case was overturned, and this is where we are today. Let me know what is your take regarding the position of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, that anyone who dare to try him anymore, of course, has committed an act of terrorism and, of course, a rape to the Constitution and a treason to the Constitution and the sovereignty of the Nigerian state. Because you cannot violate your own law, you cannot violate your own principles or treaty, of course, signed with other countries, and expect to also enjoy the privilege, of course, that is attached to that. That is the position Mazi Nnamdi Kanu maintained yesterday. I hope the world have held the position that this is a clear subjugation, suppression, and oppression. The very reason why he has maintained, of course, that his people must be emancipated for this cruelty, from this cruel system, which he believed there is no other alternative to this liberty that must be preached, that must be given to his own people at all costs. It is quite interesting, honestly, as we continue to watch the events unfold. But the reality, according to submissions and argued by some legal luminaries, his extraordinary rendition is a gross violation, an international violation of the fundamental human rights. And as such, the government of Nigeria has perfected the act of terrorism and can no longer continue, of course, to take advantage or to have advantage over a case that is against them. Well, let's know what is your own case, but that is the interpretation or this of the submission of the Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's case, of course, yesterday, as he's been denied bail. There is no need even for apply for bail application, because the Supreme Court have made it very clear that he never jumped bail. The Nigerian government carried out an assault against him and his life, attempted murder or assassination, which led to him fleeing or scoring for safety. And today, here we are. The government or the lower court is misrepresenting the position of the Supreme Court, which happens to the appellate court of law, that has the overruling position. What exactly is happening? Is it a mockery of the judiciary? Well, let's know what is your own take and position regarding this. I will keep abreast with the realities as we continue to watch. But the reality, my opinion, candid opinion, is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu should let go, should let up the hook. Of course, by this submission he maintained, which agree with the provisions of the Nigerian Constitution, he is not guilty and have not been proven guilty by any competent court of law within the Nigerian system. Perhaps, of course, they are using this system to buy time and to continue his detention, illegal detention, as the case is. But to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, his rights, of course, must be respected and by any means known within the ambit of the law. To this end, he has argued that no other court within Nigeria can try him. And let's know what is your own position regarding this. I think he is on point, and let's Nigeria argue in a further case. Can you try a man who you committed atrocity against in your own court? He has warned you not once, not twice. The continued detention and trial could be mischievous, could be intentional, of course, and deliberate attempt to suppress, intimidate, and hold him hostage indefinitely. But I believe his lovers and his fans will strongly oppose this. position that could lead to breakdown of law and anarchy. So I am calling on the Nigerian government and the vested interests to understand and avoid whatever that could escalate or, of course, plunge Nigeria into the harrowing days, which they may not understand, of course, the end.